Hello guys, welcome back to Garage Football. Here's our live match reaction to West Brom 1, West Ham 3. Doesn't tell the old L story. West Ham get the 3 points, bounce back from a couple of dodgy performances. So please subscribe to Garage Football if you're new, and leave your match thoughts, comments, etc. in the live chat, and we'll get to those. So John's with me again. John, thanks for joining, mate. Your thoughts on that? On that win, mate? It was a very entertaining game, I got to say.
Shocking intro.
Yeah, it was bad. It's been a long 90 minutes, mate.
It has. Yeah. Biggest concern out of that, to be fair. I mean, we'll obviously go into why we were so shit in the first half. But the biggest concern out of that is Fabianski getting an injury or a knock or a strain in the pre-match build-up. That was a big worry, because when the team sheet came out, it was looking like we were going with the back three. It really looked like we were going with a back three, and then obviously when the announcers went to flat back four. But overall, glad to get the win over our old saggy-faced dog manager. And as Tony said in the chat there, stepping down as manager, no surprise there. Because we were talking about it just before we went live. We were talking about it in the League Cup final. I think it was watch along when or one of them before it was relegated. We were saying about will Allardyce stick around? It would be the honourable thing for him to stay about, because he couldn't fix the problem. But hey, here he is.
Yeah, Dennis. It was a lot longer watch along with you guys tonight.
Oh, we had a bit of a catch.
Reading your article about David Moyes, Scottish Mr. P.
Well, I haven't had an opportunity to read The Great Gatsby at half time, which I've always threatened to do. That if it gets too boring, I'll just start reading The Great Gatsby. I was tempted to do that at the Brighton game, but no. We were just reminiscing at how absolutely psychotic we were all going over the third goal. Like, it was like peak Gillette Soccer Saturday madness. Like when Aguero scored the goal.
Oh, so that was it's brilliant. Yeah, that was awesome,
as soon as the ball left, and we're going to come on to it later. I'm derailing the program, but as soon as the ball left Antonio's foot, like, I knew it was in.
Yeah,
like, I knew it was in, and we were safe. And the ability to stay on side was top class.
That was very good. I've plenty to talk about, lads. I mean, talk about an amazing start to the game. In terms of goal-mouth action, I mean, West Brom, terrible by them. A short back pass by Ajayi, I think it was one of the centre-halves. Terrible back pass, short of Sam Johnson, and Antonio did brilliantly to get onto it. And Johnson fouled him. I think a yellow was, generous, actually, because I don't think he attempted the ball. I know there's this double jeopardy rule, but he didn't actually.
But there's also, I mean, because obviously he had a defender in the goalmouth, so he's not last man. So a yellow is right from that side of things. But you're right; it's any other day that could have been a sending off.
But in the end, Denton Rice took the penalty and hit it well enough, but unfortunately hit the post. So,
well, this is the thing we were talking about in the watch along for my one. So, like, a few people, and I think it might have been Tony that asked this, possibly not. It's just like, why? Someone asked, well, why is Rice taking penalties? It's because he's the designated penalty taker.
Yeah, when Noble's not on the pitch, he is. Yeah,
exactly. So it's just like, well,
and Lingard's missed one, and Antonio, I think, has only ever taken one penalty from my memory.
The Man United one,
Yeah, like, I don't remember. He may have taken some when he was at other clubs. I don't know, but but keeper went the right way, keeper. So even if he doesn't hit the post, I reckon he saves it.
Yeah, it's a good shout. Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing, man. You can tell from.
That's so true, Russ.
Yeah,
that's so true.
Russ, it happens on a regular basis.
It's because we had so many people watching our watch along. We had to answer all their questions, my fan mail and hate mail,
and you had to read your article, which took about 6 minutes.
I skipped an entire boring paragraph, but yeah, I kept trying to put it in the comments, but I couldn't. But I've shared it on Twitter, so if you want to go on my Twitter,
yeah, I'm gonna have to find it while you're talking.
We've got plenty of time. But you know, it's but that is the thing though. It was the fact that it would have been nice would have been really nice for Rice to have scored that, of course, but. It is what it is, unfortunately. You know, it was a well-taken penalty, like you said, Bill. You know, the goalkeeper went absolutely the right way. You can tell from the body language of Rice that he was going Rice's left. You could see it straight away. I mean, I called it on the watch along. You're saying bottom left straight away. But fair play to Johnson, and it just shows how good a goalkeeper that guy is.
No, it's a very good keeper.
Why he doesn't deserve. Why he doesn't deserve the relegation that he's facing at the minute is, you know, he will be one of the first out in a few weeks. He really will be.
I'm sure. Go on, Dennis. Go on.
So I say he's not the type. He's not the type of keeper, you know, to concede a soft goal from a corner for the second time in his career for West Ham.
That wasn't soft. That wasn't. To be fair, it was on target. I don't care what anybody says. It was on target. But Pereira knew exactly what he was doing.
What I was saying as well was when second half again we get nervous. I've ruined the structure of the show, but second half when he tipped that one over the bar, and my reaction was he's done it again.
It was a top save. Yeah, he redeemed himself, Randolph. But no, I think the miss obviously would have been the absolute perfect dream start. You know, if you're playing against a side that have got nothing to play for, you know, if you're playing those type of teams, it's vital. Well, it's vital to get the first goal anyway, no matter what game, but especially against a team where they're already relegated. But it galvanised West Brom, and they played with this freedom of a side that had no sort of pressure on them for the most of the game.
Bill, I'm glad you said that, mate. Sorry to interject on this, but I'm so glad you said that because every single team has everything to play for, especially bearing in mind with you relegated with 3 games to go. You have pride to play for, and to be fair, West Brom played with pride in the first half.
That was the first game in front of their fans as well, which I said at the beginning. You know, they want to give their fans something. You know,
hey, Yusuf,
and the combi boiler on the touchline as well.
worst mascot ever.
Mascot, the greatest mascot. Because it's so bad, it's great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but no, you're right, John. And also, don't forget that you know, some players are playing for their place for next season as well. Some West Brom players. So, and even some that are on. I was really impressed with Gallagher tonight. I got to say,
Gallagher was phenomenal.
You know,
tonight.
he's on loan from Chelsea, but you know, he's playing for. Well, whether he'll get in Chelsea's squad remains to be seen. But
he will.
Probably won't. But he still plays playing for a loan place or a permanent move somewhere else. And,
well, he could probably get loaned at an established Premier League side next season. You know, I'm not hinting at us. I'm just saying, you know, like
I wouldn't be against.
I'll take him all day long.
Oh no, I'm just thinking, would he play with Souček and Rice in his positions though? That's the thing.
A bit of squad depth, which would
would he be loaned to us to sit on the bench? I don't think he would. I think basically back in the day, a couple of years ago, that's the perfect loan for something like a Bournemouth to pick up. A couple of years ago, like he'd done brilliantly in that Bournemouth team, or going a little bit further back, like you know Mark Hughes' sort of Blackburn, he would have fit in absolutely perfect.
What a great shout!
Absolutely perfect shape for the way they played and stuff like that. You know, he's a proper throwback player to that sort of late 2000s. You know, next best thing sort of type player. Very impressed with him.
I mean, to be honest, I think there's after that display from West Brom, I think towards the end of this video, I reckon we could have a very long conversation about who we would take from when they get on Sunday.
I mean, I'll be honest, I'd take either one of their centre backs. I thought they were positionally they were brilliant tonight.
Yeah, caused us a lot of problems.
Well, we say that, Dennis. We scored 3 against them, so
I know, but we could have. If they hadn't have been in the perfect position to clear it, we could have scored another 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Antonio would have had 2 tap-ins.
No, well, I wouldn't touch their defenders. They conceded too many. But we'll come on to that. We'll get by later. So,
but did Fabianski before we bought him, mate? Let's be fair.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but we'll come on to that later. So, but it's eventually West Ham. We start to get a foothold in things. Ben Rama, who I think was really impressive tonight, lads. I don't know about what you guys think. Harshly subbed off, in my opinion, but again, we'll touch the second half shortly. I don't know if that was well tipped over by Johnston, but as I said, West Brom, they kept plugging away and playing confidence on the ball and pressing from the front, but they weren't. I know, as we know, as West Ham fans, Sam Allardyce loves a shit house, but they play. They going to touch on their taking the lead now, but they deserved to lead, didn't they? I'd say.
Absolutely, mate. I mean, this is the thing. I was trying to figure out what football West Brom were playing because it wasn't Allardyce football. It really wasn't.
I mean, I said before, I feel very betrayed because I've always, had it at West Ham, and I knew he was like it at Palace and Everton, but never attacked when he was leading. And now he's at West Brom attacking when he's leading. It's I felt very attacked by that. Why are you doing that for them and you couldn't do it for us?
Yeah, easy to keep on a second when you're got nothing.
Well,
can't
that's
stay up.
The thing as well. We need a minute is that Sam Allardyce actually got relegated. Yeah. Mr. I will never get relegated. I'll never throw away. What was the you said as well when he took over? I'll never throw away a 2-goal lead away from home. How many 2-goal leads did we throw away from home in his final season? Like Spurs, for example.
Sorry to any West Brom, any Baggies fans that watching, but we've waited years to have this conversation. We've waited years.
And I said West Ham fans, West Ham cities now. Although I think in hindsight, Allardyce wasn't as bad as we made out, at the same time, I think a lot of fans look back at that period with rose-tinted glasses.
Big time. Yeah. Let's not forget. For literally 9 years ago today, he got us up through the playoff final. That's why a lot of people are looking at it.
Yeah. And I'm not being funny. That team should have. We should have won the league quite comfortably.
100%.
All we needed was a consistent goal scorer.
Yep.
And even Cole with 15 goals wasn't quite consistent enough, sadly. But it's another. Again, this is a topic to our throwback West Ham ones we did back in the day. Bill, let's get back on topic with your. With the analysis of the game. Sorry, mate. I'm just so buzzing. Like I've got so much adrenaline running through me from that game. So
I was going to say the thoughts of Dennis and John don't sum up the views of garage football.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Secretly, they do. No, Tony makes a good point. Good point. Thanks, Tony. So West Brom played a mixture of free-flowing football to long ball merchant football. I think that's why Big Sam just sat back and enjoyed his chewing gum. And eventually he resigned, as we'll probably touch on later as well. But so the goal, West Brom's goal, I don't know how to sort of sum it up really. So Pereira took it. He was impressive again tonight. Pereira, not for the first time. Looked like Souček got a touch on it. I mean, Randolph looked all at sea, and the Premier League I think have awarded it to Pereira, even though Souček got a touch to it. But it was a well taken corner. Fair play to him, but it wasn't the greatest from us, was it?
It's a Konchesky special. I guarantee he was aiming it in the box, and it wasn't meant to be on target. But I
was wondering if you meant the attacker or the defender, because Konchesky did both for us, didn't he?
He did. Yeah,
he did do both for us. He did do both for us. He that on the line for Berbatov's free kick against Spurs.
Yeah. I wasn't referring to that in any shape or form, mate. But yeah, no, thanks for bringing that memory back.
You're not wrong, Yusuf.
Tony is never going to let this go. I've been having a go at him all season. I've been having a go all season about this. And the one game, our game against Everton, our last game was literally the roles were reversed, and he's never going to let me. He's never going to forgive me for this. The alien-free icon, cheeky bastard. But no, it was not good at his age. Honestly, I'm going to slap your bald head when I see you, man. I'm going to slap your bald head. But honestly, what it was, I genuinely think in 20, 25 years from now, Pereira is going to have interviews with Baggies fans and whatever, and he's going to say, before I say anything, yes, it was meant to be a goal. Because he didn't mean it in any shape or form, but it was very, very well taken, and fair play to him. And also the good thing about it as well, for that matter, was when we had, again, jumping ahead, but when we had the corner in the second half, the lessons were learnt. We were right on the near post for their corners every single time since. It was much, much better.
No, it was, but and then it, as you said, Dennis, I'll take that comment off by Tony. as you said, Dennis, very unlike Allardyce, goes against his usual sort of style of play. They kept on attacking West Brom, and if anything, looked like the second goal was more likely than a West Ham equaliser. And Randolph, as we mentioned, he redeemed himself after Pereira's shot was deflected off Crespo, and that was a top save, I have to say.
Yeah, I would say I have to give credit where it's due. Randolph did pull off an amazing save.
It was
quite a lot actually. He made some very, very good saves tonight. Very good saves.
Even though I really wanted David Martin to start, because I did say months ago on the watchalongs that it is written in the stars that David Martin will save a penalty that will give us European football. Like a stoppage time penalty. So that's what it's going to be. It's going to be like goalless on Sunday. Spurs will be 1-0 up against Leicester. And then we'll concede a last penalty. Randolph gets sent off and Dave Martin has to come on. Save the Danny Ings penalty.
Dennis has jinxed it now.
Save the Danny Ings penalty and we get the point. We get the point that gets us European football, and Dave Martin gets a statue outside London Stadium.
I wanted the blocks named after him. Block 247 or whatever. That's the David Martin block.
No, there's a statue, and the statue is of him when he goes on his knees with his hands in the air against Chelsea. With like, and then the engraving. It's not West Ham related. It's just Foo Fighters. There goes my hero. That's the engravement. That's the engravement.
Watch him as he goes.
Go on, Dave Martin. I remember the chant going against that. I remember the chant like, now we've got a chance. Dave Martin's in goal.
We've got a chance. Martin's in goal. Belly goal.
Well, Dennis, you mentioned all that. It was actually Trott on the bench tonight, not Dave Martin.
Well,
so I'm pretty sure.
Let me dream.
Bill, don't spoil the party.
But then again, do the same thing with Trott, and then Trott's first Premier League start. He's on the pitch for 30 seconds. He saves a penalty, and we get Europe. Yeah. What a way to start your career at West Ham.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, so go back to the game. Eventually, West Ham started to get a foothold. It was a bit frantic at times, but starting to keep the ball a little bit better and create some chances. Souček had an effort that went over after a decent counter-attack. And Jesse Lingard, who's pretty quiet tonight, but about 5 minutes before the end, he cut inside to create an effort. That was brilliant save by Sam Johnston.
You're going to say, I definitely wasn't calling for Lingard to be, taken off instead of Ben Rama. Definitely wasn't doing that.
Mate, watch the
I also definitely wasn't saying take Antonio off his knackers.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely. No, I said double substitution, Balbuena and Noble for Lingard and Antonio, because they were both so tired. And I was going to say shove Bowen up top, have Ben Rama right, 4-Ls left, and just sit back 2-1.
I was going to say, for those that are watching, whenever Dennis says I wasn't doing this in any shape or form, go 180 degrees of what he's talking about. But no, honestly, we were shit in that first half. We were all over the place for the majority of that first half. It was unreal. From a neutral's point of view, I guess it was brilliant watching, because it was end to end and everything. But
it was.
Beginning of the second half,
Lingard couldn't complete. I'm not digging him out in any shape or form, but Lingard couldn't complete a pass to save his life in that first half. It was very, very disappointing. To be fair, not more than anyone else could. Either for that man, It was. I don't know if it was literally just the fact that it wasn't paying attention properly, or just West Brom were just more alive to it. You got an argument.
I think West Brom just played really well. I thought especially first half. But yeah, eventually we grew into it and we got that vital equaliser. Probably didn't deserve it on the balance of play, but we got it anyway. Just in first half stoppage time. 4-Ls did well on the left hand side. Good ball to the back post. We end up with Ben Rama. Great ball across the box, and Thomas Souček side threw it in easily from at the back post. Checked for VAR and showed that he was in line, thank God. And we managed to shithouse a 1-1 draw at half time, lads.
And again, why did it take so long? It was that VAR decision. It was unreal. It was just like the light. You could see it on the screen. The yellow line was pissing around all over the place, and the darker line was moving up and down. It's like, come on, what are you trying to find?
Yeah,
Seriously, what are you trying to find?
I don't know. It's 2 seasons of VAR now. It's not getting any quicker, is it? So, but anyway, thankfully it stood. And then mentioned sort of it was end to end, and it was even more stretched in the second half. West Ham, we had a chance a few minutes in. Fornell's another effort from him that just went wide after great play by Ben Rama, who switching positions a lot. He was on the right hand side on that occasion. But then, West Brom, they had another effort. Ajayi, I think he redeemed himself for his terrible back pass in the first minute. But his effort was another good save by Randolph. That was close in there. Did you guys think that we'd step up a couple of gears and get a winner, or did you think it was going to be similar to sort of Brighton, where we'd be frustrated?
I thought it'd be exactly the same as Brighton.
Yeah,
it was like we got the corner, we scored a fluky goal from a corner. Then I was like, right, sit back, don't throw it away. And then we got the third. It was just party time. Although I did say on our watch along again, like, hey lads, we do have it in our locker to concede and make it difficult. Let's not get too carried away.
Yeah.
Dennis, to be honest with you, mate, you're probably not that far off the conversation that Moyes had with the boys at half time. Because it was very, very clear that Moyes was just probably slightly less polite than how you've put it, but you could see right from the kickoff that it was just like we're on it again. We're going for it. We're going to the movement was better, the spacing was better, the passes were better. I generally think Moyes was going, come on guys, we're better than this.
Yeah, it felt to me, lads, that look, West Brom have had their moments this season. Obviously, that famous win at Stamford Bridge a couple months ago and stuff. But for me, it was one of those where West Brom played as maybe not their best, but as good as they've played for the majority of the season. Yeah. But the reason why they've got relegated is obviously they haven't played like that for the whole season. So and West Ham had a few more levels and we had more gears up to go. Like, do you know what I mean? We had more in us. West Brom had sort of maxed as much as they can do really, out of the players they've got.
To be honest with you, I mean, you look at West Brom's side. It's not a bad side at all. As we were hinting at that earlier that that there's potentially quite a few players that we could be we would be very, very happy to poach during this when the transfer window opens in a few weeks' time. But as I say, it's partly down to the fact that I think it's partly a hangover of Bilic, because he brought in some very, very good players in there. I mean, we've the three of us, we've all voiced our minds on Grady coming in and whatnot. And as I say, Sam Johnson is a fantastic player. Maitland-Niles, very, 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 very good player. Gallagher, as we were talking about, Pereira, Carnu, Bartley to a lesser extent, Furlong. They are very, very, very good players. It's just for some reason Allardyce couldn't do the miracle job that West Brom needed them to do, and as very happy as I am on that as a result of it, because just to show that dozy old twonk that he's not as good as he thinks he is. At the same point, the from a Baggy's perspective, fingers have got to be pointed at the players, because at the end of the day, like I'm saying, they were a very, very good side. Got relegated with 3 games to go. When we got relegated, it was with a game to go, and we were very fortunate with that through a lot of the fixtures. And you could argue that our side was better than the West Brom side that have been relegated this season. So it's a combination of all three. So isn't it? I don't think West Brom bought badly when in the deals that they've done, because like I say, they've got 8 of the 11 are very, very good players. It's just for whatever reason Allardyce just couldn't give them the kick up the arse that they needed.
No, if they, I think obviously, again, this ain't a West Brom video or anything, but I think they shouldn't have sacked Bilic.
No, 100%.
It was harsh. They didn't have I think you're pretty bit too kind job with some of the players. I think it's a championship squad, I'd say. I don't think it's a Prem squad at all, I'd say, apart from a couple of standouts that you've mentioned. They should have kept Bilic.
I think they deserve to get relegated because their main striker wears the number 4.
Oh, what, Robson Carnu?
Yeah, that alone, you deserve to be in a relegation battle in the championship for that. Thank you. Good night.
Exactly. He's a decent player, as we saw at the Euros. Robson Carney, but he's not a Prem striker. There we are. So but anyway, we'll back to the game. So West Ham created some more chances. Souček's header went wide, just wide from a corner. Antonio just couldn't get a touch. Paul Gascoigne-esque style, Euro 96. And then Aaron Cresswell after a hilariously bad blooper DVD style miss kick with his right foot that somehow didn't go in. No wonder Aaron doesn't kick with his right foot, judging by that pathetic effort. But anyway, we've got
fair play to Dawson though for jumping straight in and seeing what the fuck's going on there.
Well, yeah, I think Dawson, I think was rock solid tonight against his old club. Thought he was awesome, I've got to say.
Hang on. Actually, hang on. Sorry to interject, Bill. We haven't mentioned this yet. His overhead kick. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, that was just as bad as Cresswell's swipe with his right foot.
I know that's what that was. What was that? Was the very first goal that he scored for West Brom was an overhead kick and stuff. But I was like, come on, man.
He scored an overhead kick for Watford as well, if you remember. Back in the day.
Watford. Sorry, Watford. Yeah, sorry, that was what I was thinking of. Yeah. But honestly, he's too old to do that shit now. He really is.
Yeah, wasn't the best option, was it? But as I say, after Cresswell's bad swipe with his right foot, we went up the other end and had a free kick must have been about 30 yards out there. Was it 35 yards? And he hit the post. Right. Fair play to him. Sam Johnson left a huge gap. He went for it, and fucking how unlucky was that? So
very unlucky.
Just missing an inch or so of a curl, because if that goes in, that's potentially goal of the month. That really, really is. That was perfect. It's just literally just a slightly not far out enough, was it?
Yeah, no, but very quick thinking, and still to have the thought of mind to even think about it is good. One thing, but then to execute it near perfectly, fucking fair play to him. But I think we were talking about levels that West Ham were. We had more in us, and we were starting to show that. But again, it was a bit like the Brighton game. We think, just wasn't quite going to happen for us. But or we couldn't get a winner basically. Like we only got an equaliser against Brighton, but a couple of subs, and we talk about Ben Rama. I thought he was very harshly subbed by Moyes. I mean, Bowen come on did okay, but I thought Fornals, maybe Lingard, who was a bit quiet tonight, possibly could have been brought off, but Ben Rama went off anyway. And then. Speaking of Bowen, a lovely reverse ball by him to play in Fornals. I think he didn't. I don't think he realised how much time he had. It was a good save by Sam Johnson. He probably could have another touch, but good save anyway. And then 8 minutes from time, lads, 2-1 up. Angelo corner with the header.
Classic Spurs header, wasn't it?
Scrappy goal, but we'll take them.
Oh, yeah, exactly. At this stage of the season, you take anything, mate. We needed to win. After obviously Aston Villa, thanks Aston Villa for their top performance against Spurs. They played excellently today.
Helping out their fellow Claret and Bluers.
Absolutely. So we need to take advantage of that and we get a win by any means. But it was a really good corner by Cresswell, back post, and I think terrible marking by West Brom, we've got to say. But Angelo, he's good at headers and attacking from corners. There's another goal from a set piece, guys.
Yeah, yes. I mean, it was absolutely. It's nice for us to get back up with that. But at the same point, Bonner didn't have really that much room to. If you look at the replays and all the multiple angles we saw, that he only had like 7 or 8 yards to move around because West Brom were compacted in. But like you're saying, mate, their positioning was terrible for all that. But at the end of the day, it was somebody that was unmarked, and unfortunately wasn't as great as Alisson's goal the other night. But for Liverpool, but yeah, 2-1, game on.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and we made sure of the win. We sealed it a couple of minutes before time. Mikel Antonio with the goal, and if you guys haven't watched it, go watch the West Ham one. Corey's and Charles' epic reaction to Antonio scoring. It was a really good counter-attack, lads. We'd threatened to do that most of the game, but it didn't quite come off. But this one was absolutely perfect, absolutely brilliant. Fornals done brilliantly to win it in his own half. Played in Lingard, and we said he was quiet tonight, and he was, but fair play to him. Fantastic ball through.
I was like watching. I was like, they're going to somehow mess up. Like Antonio's going to run offside, or it's going to take a flip. But it all worked. Like Antonio's ability to stay on side and time his run perfectly was unbelievable. Probably one of the most skillful things he's done all season, I'd have to say.
It did remind me of the link-up play between Lingard and Antonio for Lingard's debut at Villa. They were very much exactly the same sort of thing.
I thought you were going to say like Cole and York back in the day. I was going to say it wasn't quite that good. It was good, but it wasn't that good.
See, Dennis, if you're making assumptions, mate, you're making an ass of you and me. So there you go. But you know, it is this. You know, this is the thing. It was just that it was perfectly timed. Absolutely perfectly timed. But Dennis, as you said at the start of this conversation, once he kicked it, you knew it was going in straight away.
And again, we'll get that moment. Well, hopefully, Corey's going to get that moment clipped up as an individual video. But if not, I'll happily share it at the starting point of that goal, because it was just as soon as he kicks it, I'm just going, "He's free!
He's done it again!
He's done it again!"
No, fantastic. He's right in the corner. Sam Johnson, no chance. And yeah, that's still even from West Ham, we're capable of giving away leads, and we've shown a couple of times this season. Even then, we weren't going to give it away, were we, lads?
I did say I've remembered the funny thing that I wanted to say on the watch along now. I'd forgotten about it, because at half time I was like, "There's something really funny I was going to say," but that was it. I was going to say I said they've been listening to the wrong songs in the changing room. They've been listening to "Give It Away Now" by Red Hot Chili Peppers before they go out, haven't they? About times he gave the ball away, and I was like, I thought that was gonna bang. I thought that was gonna bang, but I just forgot about it because we scored, and then it just went from my mind. But yeah, "Give It Away Now." That is what our midfield have been listening to on the training ground.
I'm trying to think of more Red Hot Chili Pepper songs now.
It certainly isn't under the bridge.
Apparently, just going to cut across with some breaking news. Apparently, Sam Allardyce has been slating Antonio in his post-match.
Oh, really?
Apparently, he's gone in on Antonio, and he's resigned. By the way, I might add.
Oh yeah. We've covered.
But there's someone. So I've retweeted it on my YouTube channel. But someone's put a picture of Allardyce when he's got the cross-armed, looking at the takeaway, and it's like, "Plenty of salt, please."
The greatest picture ever.
That's interesting, because when Sky eventually got round to showing what happened at the end of the game, and they were loving up Liverpool for doing Burnley, they did show that Allardyce was talking to some of our players that he knows and stuff. So that's very interesting that he's calling out Antonio now. Very interesting.
Well,
you hit both.
He's resigned, hasn't he? So he's quit.
Antonio scored against us, therefore I'm going to resign.
Well, no, I think he's thinking, if I resign before the end of the season, technically I've not been relegated.
No, but they have been relegated.
He has, because he's resigned after it was mathematically confirmed. So he has.
Yeah. By the way. Hey, there's my Red Hot Chili Peppers song.
Well, we tried to say that we'd be there, Bill, but
is that another one? I don't know.
That's the next line. By the way, I tried to say I'd be there.
Waiting for.
Yeah. Anyway.
Danny,
the girl that's singing songs to me. Let's stop.
Yeah, please do, Dennis. Thank you.
Bill, do you want me to sing the song I said to you before we came online?
Well, no, you missed another Red Hot Chili Peppers. Oh no, it's Can't Stop. Sorry, it's not called Don't Stop. It's called Can't Stop. I was like, no, stop. It's Can't Stop.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Can't Stop, Joe Willock can't stop scoring. Thanks, Jonathan. Yeah, Joe Willock is one of our own. Yeah.
They did well against Sheffield United. Did really well.
Steve Bruce, top manager.
Best manager ever, mate. But
I said I've got the Steve Bruce mask somewhere. I've got it somewhere. I genuinely do have a Steve Bruce face mask.
What's Steve Bruce quote you say all the time?
Me at all.
It's I don't say it.
Corey says it, isn't it?
Charles goes, "How's the bacon? Do you say?" I don't know what it's from. But I remember, I haven't said it on the channel, but I went up to Hull when he was Hull manager. My mate's girlfriend was at uni up there, and they loved him. Like, they were giving away free Steve Bruce masks in the nightclub. Because it was just after they got relegated, and there was like a big support Steve Bruce sort of campaign. There was stickers like respect the gaffer, and a picture of Steve Bruce with his arms folded, because there's loads of talk of him being fired. And DJs were giving shout outs to Steve Bruce, and everyone put their Steve Bruce mask on and started chanting his name. It was weird. It was like a cult. was like a cult. It was strange, but
Remember, he was very, very close to being the England manager before Gareth Southgate took over. Very close.
fitness would have been interesting. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that.
But yeah, so lads, obviously we got that win off the Tottenham's defeat to Villa early in the day, and we're in in sixth place going into the last game on Sunday.
All we need is 1 point or Spurs to not win. If Spurs draw, we get sixth place no matter what now.
Yeah,
because Everton can't catch us. Well, I don't think they can. I think they can, but it needs to be a massive goal turnaround.
And plus, they've got Man City as well, haven't they?
Yeah, they need to win
Where are we? So Everton are 59 points.
It's
so
a 7-goal turnaround, I think.
Yeah, but but they and then we're 3 points ahead of the Spurs and 3 points ahead of Everton and 4 points ahead of Arsenal. Fucking love that.
Yeah, I love what Russ has put. Is that true?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah,
they're only 1 point off them.
If they absolutely lose by about 18 goals to Leicester, it could. But yeah,
I think Arsenal are only 1 point behind them.
Yeah, Arsenal only 1 point.
So Arsenal win, Spurs draw, Arsenal finish 6th or 7th. Arsenal could 7th or 8th. Arsenal could get Europa League.
Yeah. This is the stupid thing about it. This is how crazy this last couple of weeks have been.
But as you said, lads, vital we got that win. And going into the last game, dreaming of 6th, where it was last season, was it 16th we finished? That was unbelievable turnaround.
Oh, I've been saying it all season, mate, and I said it tonight as well. Look at the perspective. We are odds on to finish 10 points higher, 10 places higher than we finished this time last year. It's just it's been a mental season. I know, we've all had our gripes about the games over the last 4 or 5 weeks and everything, but it's unreal. Promoted 9 years ago, looking to secure a top Europa League finish, and even a season ago we were 2 points. Was it 2 points from relegation? Before we played
something like that,
yeah. Before we played Villa, or was it 2 points when we played Villa? It was one of the two. But it's been a phenomenally good season. I don't care what anybody says. The only issue is it could have been better. It could have been better if we had decent investment in the summer transfer window and especially in the January transfer window.
Yeah.
Getting rid of your only fucking striker and bringing in an attacking midfielder on loan. Not disregarding what Lingard's done since he came in, but you don't replace a striker with an attacking midfielder. You just don't. And
I'm just saying, we're only 5 points off third. That's like if we beat Chelsea, that's a 3-point swing. Yep. So that takes us down to 60. That puts us level on points with Chelsea. Yep. If we let's say we had beaten Chelsea, and that means, holding on for a point against Everton or not conceding a late goal against Arsenal, and we beat Chelsea. If Rice had been fit for the Chelsea game, we might have got a point, I reckon, not beat them. But, but that and a recognised striker when we weren't playing Mickey, the difference that could have made having that investment.
It's not just that, Den. Those 12 goals we conceded in those 3 games. Those 3 to 4 games. Yeah. That would have secured us Champions League. It really would have secured if we. Hindsight's a wonderful thing and whatnot, and technically it's foresight at the same point. But if we'd have narrowed those goals down, we could have been properly joint with Spurs, as it was at the start. I'm saying literally on goal difference. Take the points out of it, we could have had a decent. We would have been level on with Spurs on goal difference already tonight. And that's the worrying thing about it. That's my only criticism so far of this season is the goals that we've let slip in. A lot of that has been miscommunication between the centre backs and the goal and Fabianski. A lot of them, not all of them, of course, but a good fair chunk. We sort that out. Then we would literally be celebrating being finishing in the top 4 tonight. We generally would have done.
Well, it shows how well we've done where we're saying we could have been in the Champions League. So, we're going to game against Southampton. 10,000 fans will be there, which will be brilliant. Hopefully, it'll be a party atmosphere. I'm sure it will be, and hopefully we'll.
And if we don't win, TalkSport can blame West Ham fans.
And Sheffield United have got no case this time. Sheffield United have got no case this time.
I know,
absolutely. So,
to quote Hot Chocolate, everyone's a winner.
That's for sure.
Very good. So, anything else you want to touch on this before we finish?
As I said, the biggest concern of tonight, as I said at the start of this, before Dennis came in, was Fabianski picking up a strain. That's a big worry for Southampton. It really, really is. Don't get me wrong. They are very good at coming from losing positions to get something back. They're shit at holding the leads, but that could potentially be if it's just a little bit of a knock of a strain or whatever, and he's all right for Sunday, then fair play. But if he's not, and we've got Randolph in goal, as much as I admire Randolph, I think that might be one of the deciders. As good as we've talked about tonight, as well as Randolph has played and has done some very good saves tonight. That's a big bugbear of mine. It really, really is.
I've got 2 words for you, David Martin.
I thought the other one was going to be off, to be honest with you. But
on that note, John, Dennis, thanks for joining us, lads. So thanks everyone for watching. Subscribe to Gadget Football if you're new. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Take care.